What's up, family? Give this video a big thumbs up. So we got a lot to unpack here. So today we diving into some serious and shocking news surrounded around Caitlin Clark and an alarming stalking case. Plus, we got some updates in regards to the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game announcement. So we got a lot to unpack here. So let's just dive into it. So first up, let's talk about the troubling situation surrounding Caitlin Clark. Just a few weeks ago, we saw a similar case involving Paige Buckers over there at UConn, and her stalker in Connecticut, right? Now we have another incident, this time out of Texas, as you guys can see the article is shown on the screen. A 55-year-old man named Michael Thomas Lewis allegedly drove all the way to Indianapolis to stalk Caitlin Clark, sending her explicit and violent messages online before showing up in her city. So let's get into the article. So, according to court documents, it says uh, Lewis sent numerous disturbing messages to Caitlin on his social media account. These weren't just harmless posts, many were sexually explicit and including threats. One message even revealed he had been driving around her house multiple times a day, which is wild to me. And you guys see it says also he been um, driving around her house 3 times a day. We saw that. Um, he is charged with one count of stalking, threatening sexual battery, or death, a level 5 felony. He was arrested on Sunday, which was the past weekend I just passed. And according to court documents, the FBI traced Lewis' most recent messages to discover he was in Indianapolis, and police said his presence in Indianapolis was especially concerning due to the nature of his messages and Lewis being a Texas resident. Lewis's messages were sexually violent in nature, according to the article, and he also spoke about coming to Indianapolis and even away games to see the WNBA star. Marion County prosecutor Ryan Mayers said Lewis even bought tickets to a Butler basketball game, which Clark is known to attend. And he said, quote unquote, I'm getting tickets. He said in one message, I'm sitting behind the bench, quote unquote, he said in another. This is the guy, as you guys see. Uh, you have the steps of actually traveling from Texas to Indianapolis. Mears said, this is the prosecutor speaking, trying to figure out where they could potentially locate the victim. All of those things rang some alarming bells. So court documents reveal that police spoke to Clark. She told officers she'll become fearful since receiving the messages. She became fearful receiving the messages and learned Lewis was in Indianapolis. She even altered her public appearances and movement patterns to better protect her own safety. Quote unquote, it takes a lot of courage for women to come forward in these cases, which is why many don't, said Mears. And in doing so, the victim is setting an example for all women who deserve to live and work in Indy without the threat of sexual violence. When police confronted Lewis on January 8th, he downplayed his messages and told officers he was in Indianapolis on vacation. When asked why he posted about Clark so much on X, Lewis again downplayed it and said, "This is the same reason everybody makes posts." Despite traveling to Indianapolis, Lewis claims his messages to Clark were just an imagination and a fantasy type thing and a joke, and he claimed they weren't threatening despite their graphic, violent, sexual nature. Look, man, that's just wild in itself. Very, very um enraged. It's fear enraging. To see something like this happen. In regards of this 55-year-old man basically not knowing how to control himself. Okay, we all have celebrity crushes and stuff like that. Or public figures who are, you would consider your crush, just joking around and talking. But to take it to this further extent of taking matters in your own hand and actually stalking an individual like they're not human just like you, and I'm sure he wouldn't want to be stalked either, and also get sent inappropriate um messages like that in such a uh egregious nature is wild. So It is wild to me. So thankfully, the FBI tracked them down and law enforcement stepped in before things escalated further. And, Caitlyn is safe, just like you would want anybody to be safe. At the end of the day, this is somebody's daughter, somebody family member. And it's a chilling reminder of the risk women in sports face as they rise to prominence, right? Um, Look, this is an isolated case as the WNBA and women athletes gain more recognition and visibility. Unfortunately, situations like this become more common. That's why I firmly believe that players at this level should have access to armed security for their protection. And the excitement around women's sports is growing rapidly, but so is the need to safeguard these incredible athletes, right? So now let's shift gears a little bit. We're going to shift gears and talk about uh, the WNBA All Star 2025, right? So um, the logo for the 2025 All Star Game has been revealed, and it's type tough. I like the colors, I like the graphics. It's very capturing. As you guys can see, and look, it features the WNBA's signature orange alongside Indianapolis inspired red, blue, and gold. The design reflects the city's deep passion for basketball. And look, can't wait to see the energy in regards to Gamebridge Fieldhouse, at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse. So look, it's gonna be a game changer for the league. I do like the shirt, you know what I'm saying? It would be it'll be type lit to see individuals, cop the shirt, wear it in the stands. And at the end of the day, we all know the views is going to be up. People are going to be tuned in. But um, I find it very, very interesting. But I also wanted to give a quick update in regards of Kelsey Mitchell's situation. That's still up in the air, but the deadline is approaching fast. Um, in regards of Indianapolis and the whole Indiana fever. Since we talked about Caitlin Clark, and also um, the WNBA All Star will be in Indianapolis um, this year, 2025. And I'm curious to not only see how lit the All Star game will be, but also the formation of the Indiana Fever, as they have made so many updates from their individuals in the front office when it came to Indiana Fever. And curious to see how this free agency is going to go in regards of Kelsey Mitchell and things like that. So, however, you know, our hearts go out and my heart go out to Caitlin Clark and for all the women out there dealing with these scary, egregious situations. They should be supported um, and also celebrated in regards of the value that they bring as public figures, and ensure their safety remains a priority. But however, family, let me know you guys' thoughts about the 2025 WNBA All Star Game. The shirts, the logo. It being in Indy. At the Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, and they inspired the colors sourced from the WNBA signature orange and Indiana Fever brand colors. As they blend together to mimic the radiant glow of the rising wave of WNBA fandom. And obviously, we can thank Caitlin Clark for this because, most importantly, we can say Caitlin Clark is inspired by these shirts, just like why the WNBA All Star is at Indy in the first place. But give this video a big thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Peace, folks.